Hi sis, I welcome you all back to my channel. I am Aisha. In this video, I'll be showing you the full details on how to cut and sew cargo pants. In this video, you'll be learning how to sew side pockets, cargo pockets, and front fly zip. If you are new to my channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Stay tuned to the end of the tutorial. The measurements you will need for your cargo trouser are the length of your trouser from your waist to your desired length, your hip measurement, your tat measurement, that's your lap all round, your waist measurement, and your crotch length. This is the material I will be using. I have this ashoki and I have this Kampala, 5 yard of Kampala. Let's start. You fold your fabric into two this way. For you to get the folding measurements, you make use of your tat measurement, that's your lap all round, plus 4 inches or 5 inches for you to get the folding of your material into two this way. Make sure you lay your material very well. This is the down aspect. I will be taking the 2 inches for the folding at the down aspect of the trouser. You straighten it this way. This is the folding allowance, 2 inches. After the folding allowance, I will take the full length measurement. I'm making use of 43 inches. I will minus 2 inches from that 43 inches for the waistband. I will have 41. I will plus half inch to that 41, making 41 and half for the joining allowance at the upper part. The half inch is for the joining allowance. I have 41 and half. I will be taking the hip length. The hip length I'm using is 9.5 plus the half inch joining allowance, making 10 inches. You can see the way I place my tape. You minus that 2 inches from the 10.5 for you to get the length of the hip. The crotch length I'm using is 11.5 plus the half inch of the joining allowance, making 12 inches. You minus that 2 inches for the band when taking the crotch length also. This is an high waist trouser. For you to get your crotch length, you ask your client to sit on a flat surface this way and take the measurement. The new length I'm using is 20.5. You add that half inch for the joining allowance to it also. For us to create our curve shape at the side, I will come to the waist length. The waist, I will remove 1 inch at this side of the waist, and I will come to the nail length. This is the nail length. I will remove 1.5 inch from the side of the nail. From the side where I remove 1 inch from the waist, I will be taking the waist measurement. You divide your waist by 4 and add 1.5 inch to it. You use your ruler to straighten it from the waist to the crotch length this way. From where the measurements stop at the waist, you straighten it downward to the crotch. I will be shaping it at the side. You use your French curve to shape it this way. You can see the shape. I will be taking the tat measurements. For your tat, you divide your tat into two. That's your lap. You measure it all round and divide it into two. And add 2 inches to it. 2 inches. For us to create the curve, you come to where the length from the waist stop and measure 1 inch upward, and from there you shape it this way. You give it a curve shape to the tat where the tat measurement stop. For us to get the new circumference. You minus 1.5 inch from whatever you have at the crotch length. You can see you minus it, get your new circumference. I have 15.5 there and I'm making use of 14 inches here. And you shape it to meet the crotch. You straighten this line downward this way. You will not go in at the down aspect. You straighten those line because this is a cargo trouser. I'm making use of 14 inches for the circumference at the down aspect also here. You straighten it to meet the new. You straighten it to meet the 2 inches for the folding allowance also. This is it. We have our folding allowance and this is the full pants. This is the crotch length. You take your taut measurement divided by 2 and add 2 inches to it. Very important, you cross-check the hip measurement on the hip length. You divide it by 4 and cross-check if it's okay. I will be cutting it out. I have a video on how to take your trouser measurement. I will be dropping the link below for you to watch. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. I will be using this front aspect in cutting out the back aspect and add some necessary allowance to it for our trouser to balance. You lay the front aspect on the back aspect this way after folding the material into 2 as well. You make the back aspect wider than the front aspect in the folding because we will be adding some necessary allowance to it at the side. You use your office pin to hold it at the down aspect together for it to lay and be equal so that it won't shift. For the back aspect, you come to the waist. From the waistline of the front aspect, you measure 1 inch upward this way. You straighten it. From this center of the front aspect, I will be going inward by 2 inches and you straighten it to meet the 1 inch. You can see. You come to the side of the front aspect. You return that 2 inches there to that side on the hip line, on the crotch line, and on the new line. You shape it. You shape it to the down aspect. You come to the crotch line. You add 2.5 inch to hit at the crotch line here. You add 2.5 and you go downward by 0.3. You can see you go downward by 0.3 after adding your 2.5 inch to hit. Now you shape it this way. You can see. Make sure the crotch is the same and shape it to meet the 2 inches at the waist upper part. You can see it. I'll come to the upper part of the waistline. You give it a diagonal shape from the 1 inch this way to the side. And on the front aspect, I will be coming down by ½ inch on the front aspect and give it a diagonal shape to the upper part. You can see that's the difference of the front and the back aspect on the waistline. You add 1 inch to the back aspect and reduce the front aspect by ½ inch. You can decide to use 1 inch, but I decide to use ½ inch for mine. At the crotch, where the 2½ inch stop, you shape it to the down aspect this way by adding the 2½ inch to it downward. I'll be cutting it out. Give this video a thumbs up for more people to view it. Share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. I'm done with the cutting of the back aspect. I will be cutting out the ½ inch at the upper waist of the front aspect. This is it. We have both the front and the back aspects. This is the ashoke that we'll be using. We need to cut out the ashoke that we'll be using for the pockets. I'm making use of 10½ inch for the length of the pockets. Cargo pocket have stand at the side and at the down aspect. I'll be making use of 10½, 1 inch for the folding at the upper part of the pocket, 1½ inch for the down aspect of the pocket, and the remaining inches, which is 8 inches, will be the length of the pocket. I'll be cutting 4 pieces of the 10½, 2 pockets at each side of the trouser. I'll be cutting out the pocket lapel with the ashoke for the 4 pockets. I'll be adding the kampala to the side of the ashoke for the width of the pocket to be complete. But first, I will need to weave the side of the kampala first because this is ashoke for us to have a good finishing. This is the one I will be using for the flap. I've cut out the one I will place at the side of the ashoke I'm using for the flap also. I will be cutting out the one I will be using for the lining of the flap. We need to line the flap of the pocket. You shape it this way and give it angle shape at the down aspect. You can see. Cut it out. This is what I will be using in shaping the one I cut with the ashoke. This serves as the lining. The ashoke will be at the front aspect. You can see. For the side pocket of the trouser, you pick the front aspect of the trouser. I make use of 2½ inch at the waist and 6 inches for the depth. And you give it a curve shape this way. From the hip side, you can see. You cut it out. This is where our pocket will be. You pick a fresh material. You fold it into 2 this way. I'm making use of 10.5 for the length and 7 inches for the width. I will be cutting it out. I will be cutting 2 pieces of this for the right and the left side of the trouser. You place the 2 pieces on each other, the right side facing the right side, this way. And place it at the down aspect of the trouser. You place the trouser on the upper part this way and use it to cut out the shape of the pockets. You can see. You cut it out this way. By the time we fold it this way back, we have our pockets. I'll be cutting the zipper flyer. This is where the zip will be at the front aspect. I'll be cutting the right underlap first. This is the right underlap. This is the right underlap. Is on fold. I use the length from the waist to the crotch on the trouser for the right underlap and 3 inches for the width. That's on fold. Now for the left facing. This will not be on fold. Just 1 pieces of it. I make use of 3 inches for the width and you give it a shape all around this way. You curve it this way, you can see. I'll be weaving it. You can see I've weaved it. I've weaved both for the pockets. You place the ashoke on it this way and place your sewing on the ashoke. Make sure you are using a matching thread. You place the kampala under and the ashoke will be at the top and place your sewing on it. This is it. I've done that. This is the back aspect and this is the front aspect. This is the 4 pieces. And this is the side pocket. For you to have a good finishing, I will advise you weave it first before sewing. You can see I've done that. I've weaved it. This is the back aspect of it. The 2 back aspects, you can see. You weave it before sewing. You place the front and the back aspects on each side. You pick the pockets, the right side of the pocket and the right side of the trouser of the front aspect will be facing each other. You place it this way and place your sewing on it. Follow the shape. This is it. I've sewn it on both. You notch it all around for it to lay. After notching, you stop stitch on the pocket. You flip the seam to the pocket side and top stitch on it. And after top stitching, you place sewing on the outer part of the pocket. You can see. You place sewing on it this way. You can see the sewing. This is it. You flip the pocket back to the side this way and place your sewing at the down aspect of it this way. This is it. I'm done with the sewing of the side pockets. You pick the back aspect and place each back aspect on each front aspect this way. I'll be placing sewing at the side with 1 inch downward. You can see the front aspect, the difference between the waist of the front and the waist of the back aspect. You use your office pin to hold it together this way and place your sewing at the side downward with 1 inch. You can see. This is it. I've done that. You open the inseam and give it a nice press. You open it this way and give it a nice press. Let me do that. This is it. I've done that. You can see. We'll be placing the pockets at the side. But first, we need to shock where our pocket will be positioned on the trouser. The width of the pocket is 8 inches. And the length I'm using for the pocket is 7.5. This is the 1.5 inch for the down aspect. And this is the 1 inch for the folding at the upper part of the pocket. And this is the 7.5 left for the length of the pocket. From where the opening of the side pocket stop, you measure 4 or 5 inches downward. And you divide the width of your pocket by 2. The width of the pocket I'm using is 9 inches. I divide it by 2. I'll have 4.5 on each side. You know, this is the side of the trouser. You measure the depth. That's the length of the pocket, which is 7.5. This is it. And you measure that width also here. That's for 4.5 at each side, you can see. And you shape it this way. At the down aspect here, I will take the 2 inches folding allowance and I will take another 3 inches after the folding allowance. And after the 3 inches, you take the depth of the pocket, which is 7.5, and the width of the pocket, which is 9 inches. You divide it also by 2, 4.5 at each side. You shape it as well. This is it. Same thing applies to the other side. I will be having a small pocket in between these big pockets. I'll do that later. First, I will be folding it at the upper part with 1 inch. And after then, we'll be joining the pockets on the trouser. For the sewing aspects, you fold it with 1 inch at this upper part. Measure your 1 inch and fold it to the back aspects. Make sure you are using a matching thread when doing this. This is it. Now, you place it this way and flip it from this other side to the other side this way. You can see this is the back aspect in form of angle. You measure 1.5 inch and place sewing on where the 1.5 inch stop straight. You can see it. You trim it and bring it to the front aspect. You can see the shape now. Same thing applies to this other side. Measure your 1.5 inch. You can see where the 1.5 inch stop. You place your sewing downward. If you want the stand to be higher than this, you can decide to use 2 inches or 2.5 for it. You can see that's the 1.5 inch. You can see it. You fold it that way. Now I will need to iron it. You fold it and iron it. This is it. I've done that. I've ironed it. You can see. Now we'll be placing sewing at the side. You place a stitch sewing at the side all round. You fold it that way and place your sewing at the edge of the pocket, the extreme edge all round. Give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends. If you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button. This is it. You can see. Now we'll be placing it on the body of the trouser. You follow the shape on the trouser. You fold it in that way with 1/2 inch. You can see you fold it in that way and place your sewing on it all round. Be patient when doing this for it to come out neat. Make sure you follow the shape you chalk on the trouser. It stands as a guide to the sewing. Do you wish to know how to sew other types of trouser like palazzo pants and jumpsuits, place suits? I have a video on that. Check my playlist. I've placed sewing on it all round. Now you come to the upper part of the pocket at the side. You tack it down. You place tacking at the upper part of the pocket at the side on both sides. You can see. This is it. We are done with the pockets. Now I will be showing you how to sew the flap. This is the main fabric that will be at the front, the one with ashoke. Why this will be at the back, serve as lining. I'll be chalking the center of the one with ashoke for us to know the midpoint. You place the lining on it. You know we've already shaped the one with the lining. You place it on it this way to bring out the shape. You follow the shape on the one with the lining to sew the one with the ashoke. I've sewn it. I'm trimming out the excess. At this down aspect of it, you notch it all round and turn it to the front aspect and give it a nice press. This is it. I've ironed it. Now I will be placing sewing on heat. You follow the shape for us to bring out that argu shape on heat. This is it, you can see. We'll be placing it at the upper part of the pocket. You place sewing on the back aspect of it, straight down. This is it. You flip it back on the pocket and place stitch on it. You top stitch on it downward this way. We have our cargo pocket. This is it. Same thing applies to other parts. I've placed the other pocket on it. This is it. Now I will be placing the small pocket that will be at the center of these two pockets. The side of the trouser, I measure 1.5. That's where my 1.5 stop. And after 1.5, I measure 5 inches. I'm making use of 5 inches for the width of the pocket. And I came down by 3 inches from the upper pocket. I'm making use of 4.5 for the length of the pocket. Same thing applies to the back aspect of the trouser at the upper part. From the side, I measure 3 inches. And from the upper part, I measure 2 inches. And take the depth and the width of the pocket, which is 5 inches and 4.5. You can see. Same thing applies to the other side of the trouser. For the small pockets, I will be adding key splits to hit at the center of the pocket. I will add the inches that we use for the key splits, which is 1.5 to the pocket. You measure the width of the pocket first. You add the inches for the key split and add another 1.5 inch for the side, for the stand at the side to hit. You add the inches for the stand at the down aspect, also 1.5 to hit, and the 1 inch that you will use in folding it, you add it to hit at the upper parts. This is it. You fold it to the front aspect of the fabric and measure the 1.5 inch from the center and place sewing on that line. This is it. I've placed sewing on it. You open it this way to both sides, you can see, and place your iron on it. You iron it. This is it. I've sewn it to the trouser same way we sew the bigger one. You can see this is the back aspect. This is the zip. I'll be sewing it to the front aspects. I've cut out the left facing and the right underlap. You can see the same measurement with the length of the zip. I use same measurement with the length of the zip. Pick the left leg of your trouser. This is the left leg of the trouser. I'll pick this left facing. You place it on it this way. You can see. You place it on it where your zip will stop. You place it on the right aspect of the trouser. The right aspect of the facing and the right aspect of the trouser is facing each other. And place your sewing on it at the side with 1/2 inch downward. This is it. Now you flip it to the back aspect this way and place sewing at the extreme edge. You top stitch at the extreme edge downward. This is it. You open it this way. You bring the facing out and open it this way and place your zip on it. Front aspect of the zip will be facing it and you place your sewing on the back aspect of the zip. This is the first sewing. I will be placing another sewing at the side of the first sewing. You place another sewing at the side, making two sewing. We have two stitch on the zip. After the two sewing, you flip it in back this way and place stitch on it. This design stitch that will look curved from the upper part to where the zip stop. You make it curve this way. You bring the zip up at that point. You don't sew on the zip. You follow that same shape to add another stitch at the side. This is it. Now I'll pick the underlap and the right aspect of the trouser. This is the underlap. You place it at the down aspect of the zip this way. You can see. Make sure everything is equal. First, I will be placing sewing on the zip to hold the zip and the underlap together. I'll place sewing on it downward first. I'll pick the right side of the trouser and use your tape to take the measurements on the left side where the zip stop. I have 6.2. So you take that same 6.2 on the right side of the trouser and notch where it stop. You can see where it stop, you fold it in and place it on the zip and place your sewing on it downward. When you get to where the zip stop, you fold the overlap back this way at the down aspect. You can see, and at the front part where we notch, where the notch stop, you turn the right aspect of it, you fold it to the front part this way and place sewing on it downward. You can see. This is it. You can see it. Now you pick it from the down part and place it on each other this way. You fold it and place it on each other and top stitch on it to meet at where the zip stop. To the other side of it, I'll be cutting out the excess zip and continue the sewing. You can see this is it. We are done with the fixing of the zip. You cut out the excess at this upper part. This is the back aspect of it. You can see it. This is it. I've not ironed it. You can see the neatness. You can see how neat it is. Now you bring the back aspect together this way and place sewing on it with 1/2 inch. After placing the sewing, you flip it back and top stitch on it. I've done that. This is it. Now, at the center of the trouser, you bring the two center parts together this way and use your office pin to hold it. Make sure everything is equal at this point. Before joining it together, you fold the edge of the trouser first. I'll be making use of Emmy gum to gum it at the edge. You can decide to sew yours. For the trouser band, you fold your fabric into two and draw a straight line this way. You divide your waist into two and add 3 to 4 inches to it after the main waist measurements. This is the center of the waist, that's the side. You come down by 1 inch from that center point and give it a curve shape to the center point from the side. And take your inches for the band. I'm making use of 2 inches for the band. I had 1 inch to it for the joining allowance at the upper part and at the down aspect, making 3 inches. I'll be cutting it out. I'll be cutting 1 pieces of this that will serve as lining. You notch it at the center, at the side. This is it. I have the 2 pieces. I'll be adding stay to one of it. This is it. I've added stay to one of it. And you join it to the other one at the upper part. I've done that. And join the part with stay from the back aspect to it with 1/2 inch. And now I'll be placing sewing on it from the front aspect. You fold it in with 1/2 inch and place sewing on it all round. This is it. I've done that. and I've add these belt loops to it. I make use of 3.2. I have 2 inches for the band, and I make use of 3.2 for the belt loop with the joining allowance. You can see the inner aspect. You can see how neat it is. And I've add hook and hand to it. I will need to give it a nice press. This is the end of the tutorial. If you find this video helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up. If you have any question or suggestion, you can drop it in the comment section below. If you are new on this channel, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Watch out for my next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.